Hello, everybody. This is Brian Starks on the Starks podcast. We got a special treat for you today. The master, my sensei, is here today in the building. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Starks podcast. We got a very special treat. I'm not going to say he's a guest because he's a part of the team. The man, the myth, the legend himself, my sensei. You heard it, guys. My sensei, Mike Crosby in the building with Starks Technology Services.
What's going
How you doing,
on?
Mike?
What's going
Brian,
on,
Dream,
Mike?
everything is good. Everything is good. I'm very, very humbled by that introduction, and I don't listen to a word that he says. He's taught me far more than I've ever taught him, but I'm honored to be here with him today.
Yeah. So for those that are watching us today, this is a very special one, and I hold dear to my heart because Mike was my instructor when I was in college, and now I've become what Mike has been to me. So, Mike, you wanna share with the folks a snippet of our journey and how things went because people are looking now that we have our school, we're doing opportunities, and for those that don't know, so Mike and I became partners really before we even became partners.
Right.
This goes back to 2010.
At least.
Yeah. So for those that aren't aware, so this is how deep the relationship goes. And Dream, I think I shared with a little bit about this as well with you, but I want to give Mike an opportunity to give the people a snippet of where and how we actually got here.
Okay. I was asked to be an adjunct instructor at ITT Tech. Those of you who are young enough or old enough to remember that facility, that technical school. And so my job was to teach various technologies, hardware and software, servers, networking. But the one class that I alone was teaching was called ethical hacking. At the time, I had been a white hat for a number of companies, and so I was brought in. And Brian was in the first, and I'd say after that class, that's the only ethical hacking class I've taught at for ITT Tech, because Brian would get there early and ask questions. He would ask questions during class, and he would make me late because he would stay after class and ask questions. And my wife was always saying, why are you always late? And I said, well, take a guess. And so she says, I don't believe there's a Brian, until she met him, so everything is good. But it's just one of those things that he had a huge thirst for knowledge, Dream, and he was a sponge. He was the only one in the class that really took the class seriously, in my humble opinion. There may have been others, but they didn't put in the work, they didn't ask the questions, and it showed on their testing. Brian, was tested higher than everybody else in the class, and so that's what started it off. I've been in the industry of communications and telecommunications since around the mid to late 70s. Yeah, I'm a dinosaur, but there's an advantage to not having died yet, folks. But the good thing about it is when opportunities came up for both of us, I would reach out to him, he would reach out to me, and then life continues on, and then there became training for what was known as CMMC for cybersecurity. Brian and I Brian brought me into that. I would go to a couple of meetings with him, see what's been going on, and it's more organized now, but it's not nearly as organized as it needs to be because there's still companies out there doing work for the government that
Right.
still aren't cybersecurity certified. And so there is a future in that. If you can become certified in cybersecurity, you can pretty much these days write your ticket to certifying companies who need those government contracts. And this is just one of the things that Brian has brought me into. And now there's other things such as not only cybersecurity, but being able to go into existing existing businesses, both large and great, and telling them the need for cybersecurity. I was dealing with a church this just a couple of weeks ago, and they said, "Well, we've got one of our people running the website, but they don't. But for some reason, we can't ever get any updates to stay." And I said, "Well, what's your firewall look like?" And they said, "Firewall." And I said, "Well, what kind of things that you have in place? Are you using SSL, or what kind of
Security measures.
Absolutely. What kind of security measures are you putting in place?" And they said, "The guy's just running it off of a desktop in his house." Do you realize a 12-year-old girl from Lithuania could hack you, and any personal information that you have out there could duplicate it, sell it on the dark web? And they're looking at me as if to say, "Well, if you know all this, why don't you go ahead and manage the website?" And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, "You can't afford me." So honestly, you can't afford me for what I've got going on now.
Right.
I've got my time is to manage a website. It's just not one of those. But I'm just saying, in cybersecurity, if you are not careful of the data that you put on the World Wide Web, there are folks out there who's just dedicated. And now they'll use a platform. AI has tools that allows them to go out and search for these things. AI is amoral. It's not evil, and it's not good. It's a tool. It will do what you tell it to do. You can use it for good, or like some hackers do, they use it to make their life easier in getting other people's information.
And that's good. So I want to pause. I want to
Sure.
put a pin right there, because one of the things, so we kind of go back to something you said a moment ago, and Dream, I want you to jump in this as well. Because Dream, so you have a good collaboration right here that we all work together to build this thing and to make it successful. And it's already been successful, but we want to keep going. But one of the things that you mentioned in what you said was, you talked about the journey, how we came, and the in between. Okay, I got started getting to CMMC, and we started doing CMMC work. But not only that, but Mike actually got certified. So talk just for a moment about the CMMC certification that you obtained.
Well, my CMMC certification comes by way of Nokia. I am currently a technology instructor, both hardware and software for Nokia, and I teach various classes. Predominantly, I train telecommunications companies, carriers in this country, and about 4 or 5 others. But since Nokia needed to work with the U.S. government, they had to become CMMC certified, and they put out the word: anybody that knows anything about this, have heard of this, can you come in and just sit down, and then just started going through whatever processes they needed me to go through. And next thing I know, I get an email saying that I'm CMMC certified. And so, I just went through whatever platforms they had me to go through. To me, it wasn't unusual because I'd been through it with you. Brian has classes at least twice a week for various types of technology. CMMC was one of them. And having gone through that with him, what I was seeing was just like second nature to me. It was not unfamiliar, and I still had the materials that Starks Technologies has acquired and formulated and put out. And being someone who partners with Stark Technologies, excuse me, I am very. I was able to get those materials and could actually look at it and answer the questions. And so my certification is through Nokia. I don't believe I've signed an NDA, but I will check, because if things go well, I don't think we're going to be needing Nokia for the CMMC much longer.
So Dream, I don't think I shared this with you, but I think Mike just kind of shared. So then the sensei himself that taught me, now I had an opportunity to teach the sensei.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
And then, as he mentioned, the materials that we had. Now Mike has officially become CMMC certified, which I didn't become CMMC certified on the level that he's on. I did get a certification, took the training, and got a certification myself, but mine was in regards to the auditing piece of it. So as we kind of shift gears here, Dream, can you kind of talk about, like, just based on what you've learned with working with us and just Mike's testimony, how does that equate to how we can push the marketing and push that brand out from your spectrum?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely crucial. People today understanding the power of a brand. Period. Shout out to Party City. They're gone. Shout out to a couple of businesses that's been around. They're gone. You know what I mean? I think Party City was been here for 40 years. I think Big Lots is on its way out. There's a couple other organizations. And I was talking to somebody the other day that was with the company, I think it was Cisco. They was with the company for 18 years and they did a 6,000 person layoff, right? So I'm just a big old I'm really big on not allowing anybody to ever have the eject button on me. You know what I mean? The only person who's going to eject me up out of here is the maker himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we put our hopes and our dreams and all that time into another man's company that doesn't know you, doesn't call you on Christmas, doesn't give you Christmas cards, doesn't check in on you, and it's systemically that's how it's set up. I get it. Get rich or die trying. Find your niche and get rich. I mean, at the end of the day, you can give this to your son, give this to your daughter, give this to, you can't give unless you own stocks, but those are transferable variable rates as well. So, based on you guys' wealth of knowledge in this particular niche, each one teach one. The new format has gone from entrepreneur to infopreneur. The people that actually have the information are going to be at the top of the chain because you sitting there with so much knowledge that guess what you can't take with you. You might as well put it on wax and let people know exactly what you got going on so you can, people can find out exactly how to tap into this situation, which is mind-boggling to someone like me or anybody else is looking at this podcast for the first time and realizing that, wow, hold on, man, I've been sitting over here doing something I hate doing, but this is down the street where I can be at the house, comfort of my home, or be mobile or whatever, and make $75,000 to $85,000 a year, which is decent, for now, part time or full time. I just think it's very crucial to bring to become. The word become is real. Like you can become this platform which you have. It's not an easy deal. It's easy to go plug into somebody else's program. To go get another job, to go program to the, you got the credentials, plug in, and when you get off of work, who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for you, B, I know it's challenging, and I know it's been, you're on a great momentum path, and it's super crucial that you attract the people that understand. There's so many people. You're looking for the people that's looking for you.
Right.
They're looking for opportunities, looking for a systematic system to where they can plug in and to build this world of cyber tech security, also AI coming through. And I'm just blown away by all the government contracts and opportunities. And we're talking, listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm just being real. Like, this is not scripted. This is not, okay, man, when you say this, I'll say this, and let's slam dunk this. I'm telling you straight off the bat, I seen them for myself. Like, they're like, yo, whoever can fulfill this job, we got a whole big bag for you. And for you to be able to teach them and then also place them all within a 12 to 14 week period, and then you have super credentials on both ends for both of you guys, and then you guys are just teaching from there. Man, like he said, I mean, other companies may have to just move out their way.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I think that makes us unique as a collective.
Absolutely.
Because, not only, and I think Mike expounded on it briefly, but he talked about the work that we have done together. We've gone out to do networking infrastructure. We've done hardware, software. Now we're getting and transitioning to cybersecurity solutions,
Right.
which is now become a big, huge part of what we do. In addition to that, now we got the students.
Absolutely.
We got students that we've taught. Now they're going out with us to some of the clients. Shout out to David Wren with Prosperity Mint. You'll check him out on another podcast. But we actually are getting you guys opportunities to learn as I learn from Mike, and then Mike learns from me, and now
Absolutely.
Dream is learning. Now we just got a whole network at Starks Technology that we're bringing people on to try to help them get that. We've had students, we've had classmates. Lee, I don't know if you remember Lee Harris. He was on
Yeah, I saw him
previous
on right.
So Lee actually echoed some things that Mike mentioned,
Yeah.
about, glory to God for just giving me the discernment and giving me that drive. But,
Yeah.
Lee actually just spoke about that in a previous podcast. I think it was ironic. But most importantly, now we've created this platform to where you have the same opportunities, but you guys will actually have a better opportunity
Absolutely.
than Mike had. And then even with myself, I talk about it all the time. Mike was my mentor, but life happens. We go our paths. So I was kind of out there on the dark, But what we've built at Starks Technology Services is not only is Dream going to help you. Shout out to Dream with Dream Motivates.
Absolutely.
Not only is Dream going to help you promote your brand, your business. He's going to get you set up with a website, and he's going to plug you into the network. But then Mike is going to be there to help guide you and to give you that old school knowledge, which we still need in technology today, because everything runs on X's and O's is the basics. And then now I've found a way to merge the new knowledge with the old school mentality. And then now Dream has been teaching me how to help push your brand. So now what we've done was we're not only are we coaching you, not only are we teaching you, but we're empowering you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different thing. So that's why we have Dream Motivates. He's gonna motivate you. Shout out to ET, your mentor that they paved the way for you.
And big shout out to ET.
Yeah. So now what we've done was we created a platform that is systematically designed for success.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say this too, for those who are looking, as expansion is happening, shout out to these two gentlemen that's here, but they're only human, and as we're scaling, we're looking for other people that want to jump in. And if you know anything about cyber tech security, if you've been in this field and you're looking to join forces, I believe that Mr. Starks is definitely open his arms to the network, because as he's onboarding new contracts, he's looking for people. You want to speak on that? The people that you guys would be looking for. I think the viewers may know of somebody or put it out there to let them know, hey, it's money over here and opportunities over here for them to go ahead and check out, because you even said you're looking for also teachers.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So that's one of the
Educators.
things that we have our school. So with Mike and I leading the charge to get out here and go to sites, but we need to kind of we need some folks to take the reins
Absolutely.
so that we can keep mentoring and building the brand as well. And then I'll pass it to Mike here, but
Oh, yeah.
something else that you've been working on too. We've been working on this for a few years. That's actually going to happen. I think Dream is been the missing piece to this. But now, as we continue to teach, we continue to learn. But one of the things that Starks Technology Services is all about is helping you build your own brand. So we want everybody to win, but we win based on how we win together. So as I actually looked, and Dream, I got to really just give a shout out to you, brother, because you took this brand, you took the Starks Star Trek-y look,
Yeah.
and with my dad's passing, shout out to my dad. I know he's looking down, guiding me every step of the way. But Dream took the old image and created this brand new image. So when we talk about death and repassing, when death happens, it births something beautiful. So one of the things I didn't even notice until just now, but we talked about how the dots are connecting, how we're all connected. You know, Mike and I, who would have thought, 15 years later, we'd be sitting here working together
Absolutely.
as partners, brothers,
Yeah.
you know, mentor to mentor. And then now with Dream coming aboard. But as I look at that, this is everything that we talked about on previous podcasts. We talked about how we all have to be uniform and connected together. So I'm going to throw it to Mike. I said all that to say this is that we try to help you, as Starks said. Now, let the Starks be your foundation for whatever it is that you utilize. You get the bag, you get the money, but you get the assistance, you get the help that you need, because that's what we're all about, is helping. The three of us, we all are connected by God's grace. Shout out to the Lord himself. But I want to pass it to Mike here. Now we have Cross Tech in the making.
Right.
Give us a little snippet on Cross Tech.
Okay, Cross Tech is, well, look at it this way. If you don't mind, I'll build up to it. If you gentlemen don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Absolutely.
I have the same mentality that Dream has. If anybody's going to fire me, I'm going to say okay, because as I used to tell you, 2 checks are better than 1.
Absolutely.
And 3 checks are better than 2. So no matter where I've worked, I've always had my own company. Well, I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. When I came to Dallas back in the 90s, the first thing I did was establish a computer company here. And I was building computers for multiple school systems, doing it all in my garage, and then started reaching out to the computer tech schools and training some of them to show them how to assemble the hardware together and test and load the software. And then that grew. Not only was I servicing the city of Dallas, then my brother moved to Houston, set up a branch in Houston, and set up another branch in Austin. So we had 3 cities running, and then all of a sudden it got to the point where computers were so modular you could do it yourself.
Yeah.
All right, so that folded. But what didn't fold was the knowledge I had of acquiring a business and setting the market, learning what the market is. And then if there's no market, I get to set the market. And when I went to you working with CMMC, I'm saying, who else is doing what you're doing? You say, nobody. I said, then why are you charging this? You can charge whatever you want. They have to pay it if they want the service.
I remember you told me
that. That computer company was still in the back of my mind. But in doing computer work, I got into networking. I networked hospitals together. I networked auto parts stores together. I networked some banks here in the Dallas and Fort Worth area together. So I gained my networking. And the thing about it is, I keep saying and the reason I keep saying is I had to get books. You know, because I'd knock on doors and say, hey, for example, I would go to like Fry's Electronics or CompUSA, and I say, hey guys, how did you get into this? What do I need to do? And they just said, well, if you keep at it, you'll be all right. That's the extent of what I would get. Of course. Okay. And so, I mean, although it's true, but it's like you can tell the folks the truth and still not be helpful.
Right.
All right. And so for those of you who are watching and you're saying, well, yeah, you guys have established yours. Why do you want us? Well, because we know how it feels to try to break in and do more and provide for yourself and for your family, and the help not be there. And we realize all 3 of us have made it. I'm sorry, I hit the mic. All 3 of us have made it because somebody took the time and took the chance on us. Yeah. And so we realized from that, nobody becomes successful alone. Elon Musk didn't do it by himself.
Absolutely.
Okay. Zuckerberg didn't do it by himself. Everybody has achieved with some assistance, but it seems like there's a group of people out there. I don't want to make it, I don't want to specify any one group in particular, but there are groups out there that are always skeptical when somebody says, we made it and we want to help you make it. And because we know how it feels to want to make it and not have the help. And we have to go through the grind, get the knowledge. And sometimes we have to beg, borrow, steal just so we can get to a point to where, okay, we've got the knowledge. Now I can go out on my own. Yeah. What we're doing is we realize that it's a lot easier and actually more enjoyable when you have people that you like and everybody's making it together. Yeah. And so again, when Brian and Dream said, come get the knowledge, we'll help you, and then after you graduate, we'll help place you. Why would you do that? What's in it for you? Well, what's in it for us is we paying it forward. Okay, somebody took care of us. So now we're taking care of the folks who come after us with the model that you'll take care of the folks that are coming after you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay? You heard it takes a village to raise a child. Well, guess what? It takes a village to raise an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
village of entrepreneurs can help an entrepreneur become part of the village only if he turns around and then brings other to the village.
Exactly.
All right? And I tell folks this all the time in my congregation. If you want to go to heaven, you better show somebody else how to get there. Okay? Nobody is going to heaven unless they show somebody else the way. And when you go, you got to have some folks with you.
You know, it's funny you said that. Somebody else asked me the other day when I talked about this. I forgot to tell you. I talked about this whole platform to somebody, and they're going to be reaching out to you because their nephew they want to change their career. And the guy said to me, so I told it was like a couple of cats in there trying to. I said, man, just like you said, they raising the eyebrows. So like, what's in it for you? Like, why are you just? I said, listen, man, think about it. Like when you go get your haircut, and that fade hit right. When you go outside and that fade hit right, somebody might ask you who cut your hair,
Exactly.
and you're gonna be like, yo, it's my man. The compliment is when this company has the success stories of people going out, it automatically brings back good business. That's
Yeah.
how good business is, and ethically, that's how it works. And shout out to the Bible because it also says the same principle in the Bible.
It does.
So
You
put
reap
out
what you sow.
You got to just put it out there for business practices alone. When you do business, you want to do an excellent part of business. So if you put it out there, you get somebody in. They were walking at first. They were Ubering at first, but after you finish the class, in 2 or 3 months, they got a brand new car, a brand new situation.
Wow.
Guess what? That's more than a big testimony for anybody. That's straight up God's blessings that's constantly raining down. So when I put it to them like that, they're like, dang, you're right, I get you. I said, yeah, man, it's not like real talk. I mean, these guys we don't see it because ain't nobody just sitting here talking about it. You know, what they're talking about is the stuff they want you to know about because they want you to plug into this system.
Yep.
Shout out to the Door Dashers of the world. Shout out to the Ubers of the world. We need you to drive. You need to drive. But trust me when I tell you, the dude that owned Uber, I promise you, he probably never Ubered ever in his life.
Probably so.
He
Yep.
probably never set foot unless a total stranger get in his car in his back seat. So I don't even like going to the restaurants with my back against towards the door.
Yeah, nah.
So you mean
Same
tell me my
Same
man's
here.
in the back of me in my car?
Mm-mm.
Nah, I'm good. Shout out, look. But this right here is instead of being in the back seat of the car, you can be in the front seat with the driver's wheel, steering wheel in front of you because you get to learn exactly what you want to do. And I've seen some amazing things where, some of these, I'm just keeping a buck. I've seen some of these jobs be so dope that B sets y'all up with that I don't know if I was supposed to say this, but I've seen 2 laptops opened up and they got one job over here paying 85. They got another job over here paying 75. And you bring that thing to the house, and because it's not that stressful, you really are monitoring and know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the ethical hackers of the world and scrum masters of the world and things of that nature. But I don't see why you would do anything else other than bet on you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you being the man of God and what you're doing, and God is calling you to elevate in that world. But can you imagine yourself doing anything else? You're supposed to be here doing that. You're supposed to be serving. You're supposed to be doing it. I don't know if God created you to go put them fries in the deep fryer,
Right,
bro.
yeah.
I don't know if God created you for that. I don't know if
Look at it this
that
way.
was your calling. You know what
If
I'm
we're
saying?
going to stay with the Bible, go back to the parable of the talents. One was given 5, one was given 2, one was given 1.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the one that had 5,
Yeah.
he used that 5 and doubled it.
Yeah.
The one that had 2 wasn't as many as 5, but he took what he had and he doubled it. But there's somebody out there, they do one thing and they do one thing well, and they figure, since I don't have the 2 and I don't have the 5, why should I do anything? And so they bury it.
They buried it.
They flip those fries. They drop those fries. They flip those burgers. They put on that jacket and they open the door and they close the door, burying what innate gift they've been given.
Yeah.
And then they are frustrated when they see folk who don't have what they have moving forward
Yeah.
because they're using what they've been given. And what's being given to you all right now is an opportunity.
Yeah.
If you take the opportunity and you work it, you can double it, you
Yeah.
can quadruple it.
Yeah.
Okay? And the thing about it is, when you have a winning mentality, you want others to win with you.
You do.
Absolutely.
Okay? Take some of the worst football teams right now. I'd hate to mention one right
It
now
is what
because
it is.
next year
It
they
might be us, it
they,
might be
might be at the top.
something.
But all I'm saying is, take somebody with a 2-14 record.
Yeah.
Okay, and when they win that third game, even though they still lost 14, but if they win that third game, they're going to be celebrating. Not because they had a big winning season, because as a team they accomplished something together.
Put it
Okay,
together.
it's still 3 wins whenever you get 3.
Yeah.
All right, and so this is what we're doing. Except now, you don't have to. It's not going to be a 3 and 14. It's just going to be a 3.
Yeah.
Then the next people it's going to be a 4. There's not going to be an and. There's no loss to this. If you invest in yourself, you will always win.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
And if you let others who you trust and have already proven that they trust you and are willing to invest in you, you let them do it, then you'll win faster. It's a win, win, and win again. And then when you invest in somebody that has looked at you and said, I want to do what you do, tell me how to do it, show me how to do it, okay? Then it's a win, win, and win again, okay? Now, for those of you who are skeptical, okay, like you said, God bless Uber. God bless McDonald's. Shout out to those corporations that are willing to take those who don't necessarily want to enhance what they've been given. But if you want to move forward, if you want to invest in yourself, the biggest risk that you'll take is the biggest success that you'll make if it's in yourself.
Yep.
right.
Absolutely.
I tell people all the time, man. You know, people say the way I live. So shout out to my beautiful, amazing, I love you, wife. But the wife that I have, my queen, she's told me numerous of times, even to this day, she said, baby, I ain't gonna lie, the way you live scares me. Because she's corporate America, she's been at her job for 22 years, you know, she's boom, 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 boom. I remember, which is funny, you know, God be the glory, she's still there, but I remember about 8 years ago, she was looking like, I think she was looking, and she was, you know, she came home with a weird look on her face before COVID, because they're about to do a huge layoff. And matter of fact, they did do a layoff, but she wasn't included. And it's crazy. She gave her life, 15 years of life to this place, and they about to say, boom. For me, my fear. So shout out to the fear. There's some fears there. But the fear of not trying over trumps every fear that I got. The fear of what if. The fear of, you know. One thing I know about a job, the jobs ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
But time is.
Amen.
Yep.
Time is. You can go get a job. You can go get a job, bro. You want a job? They are so happy to give you a job today. You want a job? Go get your job. For you guys to plug into something greater than what's going on, take this, what you're doing right now, in Stark Security, and start security, and learn this. Create the ATM machine, like I always say, for whatever you want to do. You know, it's money infused in this situation, and then go bet on you. On that note, I know we definitely got to take a little break right now. Check out this right here with the Starks podcast.
Hey guys, this is Brian Starks with Starks Technology Services. Are you tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired? You want to learn something new? You want to take on a new trade? Technology is not going anywhere, and it's only elevating. So allow it to elevate your pocketbooks as well. Come check us out at Starks Technology Services. You can visit us at our website at starkstechnologyservices.com. You can also call us at 1-800-316-4606, or you can send us an email at support@starkstechnologyservices.com. Now back to the episode. Welcome back, everybody, to the Starks podcast, where we dropping some gems in the building. Got my man Dream with Dream Motivates,
What up, though?
doing everything, and got my man, my friend, my brother, my partner in crime, Mike Crosby, with Cross Tech. So now let's get a little bit more deeper about Cross Tech, because I definitely want to give people an opportunity to see how we grow from within, but we still connected. So I want to give you a few moments here, and then we'll bring Dream in, because I want you guys to understand the blueprint model to everything. So Dream is going to expound on that. So Mike, tell us about what your vision is, if you don't mind, what Cross Tech is, and what it's going to be doing.
Okay. As I mentioned before, I started off with a computer company, but when computers became modular, then that kind of went away. But one thing that I learned while I was doing was networking computers together. And so I learned a lot about networking, not just the hardware side of it, but then come to find out to do business with the government, there are certain protocols that you have to be familiar with, like ISIS, OSPF, BGP, and a few others. So in the process of training other companies, I picked up and learned all of the protocols that the government wanted, then turned around and started using that as a platform for training corporate America. And then said, you know what? I could do this and add not only the hardware piece, but I also know the software, and I also do the training. So we're jacks of all trade when it comes to networking. We can do the hardware infrastructure. Brian and I already did one job where we were doing hardwiring and Wi-Fi for the same customer. Okay, and we'll be doing more of that. Why? Because it's needed. You said, well, is there security measures over one, or is there benefits of one over the other? Hardwire is always is the more secure.
Yeah.
But it's also the more difficult and the more expensive route to go, depending on what needs to be done and how many machines and how many nodes need to be connected. And so when you do it Wi-Fi, it's easier, but then the security measures are a lot greater.
Goes down.
And so, absolutely, you're going to have to increase, because you've got folks with drones flying over buildings, flying over homes, looking for any type of network that they can collect and connect when you're sleeping. And so with that in mind, yes, there's going to be a need for Starks for cybersecurity. There's going to be a need for Crosstech for not only to assist in cybersecurity, but to assist in the infrastructure of completing the task of getting all of your network needs together, making sure that they work and they can be monitored remotely. Gone are the days where somebody has to be on site for 24 hours to make sure that something runs.
Right.
You can be anywhere in the world, pick up your phone and actually look and see what's going on in a network. You see a lot of these commercials online these days about a dog that is barking all the time, and so they hit a button and this device in their house plays soothing music and the dog calms down. All right, you can hit a button and the automatic feeder will feed your cat. You can be out of the country and still take care of your pets without having to put them in a kennel. You just make sure that they have whatever they need. And again, this is what the mission of Crosstech is to provide the networking, the training, and then the placement of those who want to come and do what we do. And this is why we have partnered with Stark Technologies, because why should I reinvent the wheel when somebody that I trust and have a great deal of respect for has already gone that route?
Yeah.
I'd rather share with him than try to get it all myself alone. And believe me, it's a lot more fun and a lot more profitable to do it with people. And by the way, we haven't said this because we haven't needed to. Folks, it's all legal. We're not doing anything. And a number, you hear all these words. There's a 4-letter word now. They're scam. Everybody thinks that they're out to be scammed. And so, bad news goes around the world 10 times before good news ever leaves the house.
Yeah.
Okay? The thing about it is we're so skeptical that when we hear good news, we don't recognize it.
Right.
Yeah.
And some people, if it sounds too good to be true, it can't be true. Well, that's good. I'm glad you feel that way. This isn't too good to be true. There's still work that has to be done. You have to invest in you. That's the risk that you're taking.
And I like what you just said, invest in you. And when I hear that, I think about what Dream always says, bet on you. So as anybody that is watching right now, this is the importance of the relationship. So Mike is kind of giving you a glimpse of what CrossTech is, or what CrossTech is going to become. But I love the fact that, again, with even the Starks logo, the dots are connecting. So now you get a chance to see, so Mike alluded to it, how CrossTech is going to focus on your infrastructure needs. It's going to focus on training, which Starks does the same thing, and how we partnered up together. But now we have a class on basic networking. We have a class on basic foundational computers. So we've talked about this a little bit in the past, Dream. You come to Starks, you get the training you need to learn cybersecurity. Well, guess what? Cybersecurity isn't for everybody.
Right.
But this is where CrossTech, that knowledge for networking, teaching you how to network computers. I'm telling you, when Mike taught me, I had an instructor before Mike, and I was literally like, womp, womp, womp. That's kind of what it was in class. But every class that I had with Mike, I think we had 2 classes, but every class that I was engaged with Mike, because you see how powerful he speaks with precision and direction. And that was intriguing. So then he started to teaching me networking. Well, that's why I leave it to Mike, because, I'm good at what I do, but Mike is amazing at everything. I'm still learning from the mentor himself, but this is the importance. So we have cybersecurity classes, we have networking classes, to where you can actually learn and potentially may be able to, depending on your level of expertise and your success and how hungry you are, then Mike could also potentially do some internship with you.
Absolutely.
Let him go out with, you go out with Mike and you learn the tricks and the trades from the master himself. But now we get into entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
All right. So we actually have all of these classes, from computers, to basic IT, basic networking, advanced networking, cybersecurity, ethical hacking, and now Mike and I have already collaborated, and Dream is also on this too, AI essentials. But when you get all of this, we also have a class on entrepreneurship. So something that I've been working on, I didn't mention this to either one of you guys, but I'll talk about it in our meeting tonight. But I'm also working on something. We've already built a foundation for entrepreneurship. All right. So then you can come to Mike, you can come to myself, and you can get the classes, the training, get your certs. We'll place you in a job with our partnership. Shout out to Lori Thomas at Echo Select. But then let's say you don't want to go to corporate America. You want to learn your own trade.
Right.
So this is where Dream Motivates comes in with the blueprint.
Yeah.
So Dream, talk to us about it, because we definitely got to celebrate you. And you always taught me, we go where we celebrate it, not where we tolerate it.
Yeah, for sure.
So shout out to you. And I've had an opportunity to be on some of Dream's podcasts, and we talking about the blueprint of being an entrepreneurship. So tell the folks a little bit about your blueprint as far as entrepreneurship, because once they come out of the cybersecurity and the networking classes, then a lot of my students, they want to know how they can do entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to everybody, like I said, betting on yourself, or even thought about betting on yourself. And as a man of God that we all are, we understand that God is the creator. We created in his like image.
Absolutely.
So if that being said, if he is a creator, we're supposed to be creative. And we're supposed to be able to create, like you have creating your company, you're creating the podcast, you're creating the courses, you're creating. That's just like God's image, That's what we're supposed to be doing anyway, according to the good book.
Right.
So with that being said, I've always had just I literally remember being in class in school, literally just like, what is if y'all, shout out to y'all, because I know y'all techies, but I've never used algebra a day in my life, bro. I haven't used algebra, and I have 3.14 pi. I haven't tipped a waiter in pi. I haven't. So this class refried my brain so much, and I never forget just looking at these numbers and these letters mixed together. And I'm like, bro, this algebraic, it's just like, what in the world? Why did I learn all this irrelevant information? In none of the classes did I ever hear the word Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, LLC, DBA, EIN, None of it. None. It was in none of the classes. When I say none,
Zero.
it was in none. And I remember just being in, and I think I remember being the word. I was throwing parties in Skyline High School, and I was my own boss. And I don't think I've even heard of the word entrepreneur then.
Wow.
Like it just made sense to me that, somebody told me that based on the hour of my life, they dictated how much they were gonna give me, and that didn't sit well with me.
Wow.
$7.30 an hour, $8, $9, $10. I like, yo, I can make that in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that I get in this Well, let me put my hand up too. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's unfortunate. When I hear this, when I say, I have just come to the grips to saying that. I have just come in to say that God did not call all of us to be on the back end. That they need the people on the front end of the chessboard. It's crazy. The chessboard has different pieces, but
Yeah.
I just felt like some people, but God, we need some people to be able to work. But for the people that felt alienated like myself, and they said, man, I have a gift. I like creating. I want to do my own thing. I think I'm down to do it and catch the team no sleep, because it is what it is when you're an entrepreneur. Then yeah, man, this is gonna be a good thing for you because we can combine everything and let you go ahead and drift off with that trade and to do your own thing.
Absolutely. So you wanna share to people, because there's somebody right now that's listening to the sound of your voice. There's somebody that just heard Mike talking about the networking piece of things, and now CrossTech is getting ready to get ramped up in 2025. You guys have seen Starks Technology Services. You've seen a glimpse of what we're doing here, but now you may want to create your brand. So Dream, tell the people who they need to come out to, because shout out to Dream. Dream motivates. If you need a website,
For sure.
you need entrepreneurs, you need a coach. This man is the coach's coach.
Yeah,
all right.
for sure.
So share the people with the people. They starting to see all the things. They're gonna be seeing CrossTech. They're seeing Slang. Shout out to my girl Slang, Shantae Lane. Now you got Miss Evans,
Yeah.
So shout out to Yolanda Evans. We see you. We enjoyed you while you were here in town. But now other entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
they come in the Dream.
Yeah.
So share with the people about
Listen,
some of the things that you're doing and what you could do for them.
yeah, the course is called Become the Brand. You got several opportunities every single day, Mike, to when you're walking past people, to give them a message, whether you speak or not. Shout out to the Apple commercials of the world. If you ever look at Apple commercial, they give you the experience, not just talking about the iPhone, but what does the iPhone bring? What does Apple bring you? What is Stark's going to bring you? That's the whole deal. So becoming a brand is actually wearing that brand, becoming that brand. If you walk into the mall, how many times did we see that brand before we left? We might not say nothing about it, but if you keep on seeing Stark, every time it has something to do with cyber tech security, you see the Starks. You see them with the blue shoes. You see them with the blue car. You see them with the. You're gonna see that color. You're gonna see that Tesla outside. You're gonna understand that this is a brand. These are programs that you're programming people to think of me in my business at this situation, at this time, and then you got to be prepared for the call. It's better to be called. It's better to be called, and it's better to be prepared and not called than be called and not prepared. And you can't be in a situation where you're not prepared for the call, even though your phones are not blowing up right now, and even though you're not, you never know. One person goes out, they need somebody. You know what? I just seen that podcast with that guy the other day. He has a wealth of knowledge. Let's call them because man, they're killing it. And next thing you know, boom. And a lot of people, man, you gotta realize, man, some people don't even see shows until it's time for binge worthiness.
Yeah.
A show could be on for about a week or two, or maybe 2 years, and then some one little clip goes viral, and then they go watch 2 seasons of it, and that's what it is. That's why you have to walk, talk, become the brand, and your brand is more than just a logo. It's your experience, it's how you treat people, it's your background, it's your tenacity, it's your. I mean, something about that Nike, man. Shout out to Nike. It is what it is. And there's other brands out there,
That's right.
but it just resonates with me so much, man. When they put that tag, just do it. I'm sorry, bro. That was the dopest. That was it for me.
Still is.
Yeah, just do it. 3 words, and
Just do
I'm done. You know, stop procrastinating, stop tripping, stop. If it rains today, you're gonna complain or just get the umbrella.
Yeah,
And go to work.
absolutely.
It's just got to bring it all the way through. And if you need an umbrella in your life right now, Starks is it. I mean, this is the future.
It's not only the future, but it's here.
Absolutely.
It's here. So if you guys need a website, you need marketing. Maybe you want to join your own podcast. Maybe you want to join the Starks podcast.
Yeah,
Come
for
on
sure.
down.
Come on with
Come on down. See Dream Motivates. Tell them that Brian Starks sent you.
Right.
So as we get ready to wrap up, we want to expound about the new technology,
it. Yeah.
AI. Mike and I have been sharing folks, a little bit of knowledge, dropping some nuggets. We are teaching an AI class, so
Right.
Mike and I will alternate, and we will teach you the basics of AI and give you an expert level on artificial intelligence. Even with Dream Motivates, he uses a form of AI in some of the marketing and some of the what you guys have been seeing, the clips, the reels, you know. So real quick, Mike, in about 60 seconds, give us a little 60-second preview on AI. Is it good for us? Is it bad for us? What's happening?
All right. Again, as I mentioned earlier, AI is a tool. It is a self-learning tool, and it bases everything it knows by what's being fed into it. The more it's fed, the more it has things to compute, and it looks for patterns. And so, just real quick, the more, say for example, learning how to drive. If you want to teach AI how to drive, then you have to give it input. Well, somebody's been giving it enough input to where, say, for example, the city of Phoenix, Arizona, right now has a taxi service called Waymo. But it is all cars that are electric and driverless. And they're all Jaguars. It blew my mind to see so many Jaguars on the street, but they were all driverless cars. Now, that's one form of AI where AI doesn't need human intervention in order to perform its task.
Generative
Okay?
AI.
But then again, there's another form of AI that requires human intervention. Say, for example, when you pick up your cell phone and you say, call Starks Technology Services. Okay, AI here's the words. It translates that voice to text, and then that text to a command, that command to an action in an app, and then it actually calls Starks Technology Services. So again, AI is a part of our life, has been since the 20s, 1920s, that is. But it has grown and evolved, and you can use it to make your life better, or you can resent it and be replaced by it.
Hey, shout out to the first Chick-fil-A AI that just
Yeah.
y'all see that?
Well, when I was teaching, and I
see
think
that,
this
Mike?
is
Not yet.
Chick-fil-A just dropped a brand new AI Chick-fil-A, the first one ever.
But where is it?
I just seen it on the thing because right before I came up here, I was like, "What?" And I wanted to read it, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't want to be late for the set." But it's all AI Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A, if they starting it, everybody else coming.
Oh yeah.
I know McDonald's got some couple things going on too, but Chick-fil-A, they got a whole no humans.
Well, the lines are so long with humans. I don't know if you've been to a Chick-fil-A lately, but even when it's not lunchtime, the line is
Oh, yeah.
around the building.
But
Yeah.
they taking them in and out of that thing. Though.
You see what I mean?
You
It's
ain't staying
funny.
there long.
It's funny you say that because when I was teaching at a college, small community college downtown Dallas, they had a Chick-fil-A that only had 2 workers, but the whole thing was ran by AI,
That's
which
crazy.
is crazy. So as we continue to give you guys a preview and a glimpse of it, so Dream, as we get ready to get up out of here, talk to us a little bit about 60 seconds about AI. Is it good? How can we use it? Is it good, bad for you? What's going on in your world? Bob?
AI is definitely good for you, in my opinion. Success loves speed, so AI makes it faster. And like Mike said, you got to stay ahead of it. It's bad for the people that refuse to understand.
Absolutely.
It's coming whether you like it or not.
It's
Am
here.
I in the situation mentally where I feel like I'm be cool with when the new cyber cabs drive up and just get in the back of their car? I don't know if I'm there yet. But at the end of the day, it's here. You know what I'm saying? So whether you like it or not, it is here. So embrace it. You're going to need it. You're definitely going to need to understand it. And for the people that understand it earlier than later, you will be in front, not behind.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things as we get ready to wrap up here, we teach AI Essentials. We can get you certified.
Right.
All right. You could take the course, Mike, myself, or any other staff members, maybe even Dream. One of us will be able to teach you, or all of us will be able to teach you AI Essentials. We have a class for it. The pricing is on our website. So go check out the website, starkstechnologyservices.com. You can book your classes for 2025. So don't wait.
Absolutely.
Don't wait. Go ahead. We're going to do an open house, I think, Dream, in about a week or so, January 6th.
Yep.
All right. So shout out to Dream, and he's been working on that for Starks. So be on the lookout for that. And AI, it is here to stay. I agree with my brothers. We can use it for good, but understand we got to get ahead so we don't stay behind.
Amen.
And if we get behind, we're going to be in trouble.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so security is essential for the networks that are being placed. So with the networks, you need security. With security, we need ethical hacking. We need AI's governance in order to make sure that it's all protected. So as we get ready to get up out of here, close out, Mike, how can the people reach out to you if they want to reach out to you directly? I think you have an email distro for Starks, right?
Yes. M. Crosby at starkstechnologyservices.com.
All right, good deal. Dream motivates. How to tell the people how they can reach out to you.
Oh man, look, real easy, guys. At Dream Motivates on everything, social media, and dreammotivates.com all the way across the board.
All right, good deal. Well, I definitely before we close out, want to say thank you, Mike, for all you've done for me way back when, what you've done for me now, and what you're gonna do going forward. I appreciate all your knowledge. I appreciate you. I have mad respect for you.
That goes
Mad
both
respect.
ways, my friend. It goes
Yep.
both ways.
Definitely.
Dream motivates. My guy.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate everything that you've done, what you're doing
Absolutely.
for our people, because now
Absolutely.
you are empowering, you're motivating the people, but now
Yeah.
you don't realize now you're giving us all a platform to be here at this wonderful facility.
Amen.
So we appreciate you. Praise and shout out to go to God. God is covering all of us. God be the glory. Thank God for Mike, and I thank God for Dream. Thank God for the Starks family as well, and I thank God for you. We appreciate you guys for watching. So don't forget, share, like, subscribe. Hit us up at starkstechnologyservices.com. Or if you want to try to get a hold of Mike, you can call 800-316-4606. And if you still can't get a hold of anybody, you can reach us at support@starkstechnologyservices.com. Remember to love one another as we get ready to transition into 2025. If you don't have a New Year's resolution, come hit us up at Starks Technology Services. We will help guide you. We will teach you. We will place you in a job starting off at $80,000 a year. Until next time, be safe. 2025 is here. God bless.
Happy New Year to everybody.